Welcome to ESET's presentation of Is GDPR Good News for Business? Today we'll be going through an intro to GDPR, new requirements, how ESET can help, and finally, is this good news or bad news? So first, intro to GDPR. GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation and is a single data protection law concerning all businesses that are processing the personal data of Europeans. This includes companies anywhere in the world, including the United States. It goes into effect on May 25th, 2018, and it affects companies that offer goods or services to subjects in the European Union, even if no payment is exchanged. It also affects companies that monitor subjects' behavior data within the EU. And finally, like I mentioned earlier, GDPR affects companies of all sizes, even if they are based in the United States. The fines for a GDPR violation is currently up to 20 million euro, or around $22 million. And these violations relate to breaches of the data protection principles, conditions for consent, customer employees' rights, and international data transfer. National Data Protection Authorities, or NDPA, allow for businesses to communicate and predominantly deal with a single data protection authority, which is those NDPAs. These authorities then have the ability to impose fines, carry out audits, require businesses to provide information, and obtain access to company premises. So what do businesses need to implement? So a few things that they need to implement is starting after May 2018, all data subjects must give consent in all cases in a freely given, specific, and informed way. The burden of proof when it comes to consent lies on the businesses. Any data subjects must be able to withdraw their consent at any time, and they must be able to do it easily. Businesses cannot require consent in exchange for their service either. Another big thing is about data breaches. All data breaches must be reported within 72 hours. And data breach compliance with the new GDPR rules will entail significant administrative burden, which may increase costs for the businesses, because it says that businesses need to create a data breach response plan, designate specific roles and responsibilities within the company, train employees, and also prepare notification templates. If encryption is implemented and personal data is unintelligible, data breach subjects do not need to be notified about a breach. Encryption is very powerful and widely available for businesses at relatively low costs, especially when you compare it to the fines that GDPR can impose. So how can ESET help? The first way that ESET can help is DESLock encryption by ESET, which is our encryption solution to make sure your data is safe and secure. It provides full disk encryption, USB encryption, file folder encryption, and email encryption, so you can meet all of the different compliance requirements. And DESLock places the focus on end user usability, because we realize that if encryption is not easy for the end user, they'll complain and they'll press for a change. So DESLock is centrally managed and requires no network or firewall changes at all. So it makes it very good for a company that has remote offices or remote employees. You also have the ability to remote wipe devices at any time. So in case of a lost or stolen device, or in case of employee termination. And DESLock supports any Windows XP and above desktop or laptop, or Windows Server 2003 and above. And finally, Apple iOS. As part of GDPR and other compliances, yearly training is required for employees. ESET provides free cybersecurity awareness training to deploy to your business. After signing up, you are provided with an email template you can then distribute to your employees, asking them to complete the training. Once the employees complete the 90-minute training and pass a test, they're provided with a certificate as a proof of their completion. So finally, is GDPR good news or bad news for businesses? So on the pro side, it's one common set of rules. Now there is not different variations for each country, and it's enforced by a single enforcement arm, the NDPA. The bad news, however, is now companies need to implement new technical and organizational measures. There's more responsibility on the shoulders of business. There's a possibility, need to redesign systems or renegotiate some sort of contracts. And finally, due to the higher fines, there's a higher risk. And thank you very much for watching our webinar on GDPR.